Hey everybody, welcome back for another brand new video. Today's video, I definitely would want to say is that before we even get to the point, is please be sure to give this video a like and comment and subscribe and hit the bell to be notified. That way you guys again will not miss a single video that comes on this channel. And yes, I am definitely, frankly, am holding my phone while using a camera. So yeah, hopefully, like I said, my arm is pretty strong to hold it. So I probably would say however it is, but we'll see. So, anyway, if you guys did see that YouTube short that I pretty much did say that I briefly mentioned that, yeah, I pretty much do say actually that yes, it probably was true for some reason that I don't know why. They were like some baby chickens that were just kind of in the house, which they were in the box, by the way. They just didn't like jump out or anything because I mean they're just like small baby chickens, like they're just baby chicken born baby chickens or whatever. If I'm not making any sense, but at least I'm still gonna try anyway. So yeah, they were just baby chickens, like very small chickens. Like I think they were like the only count I could sense to count was like either 14 or 15 of those chickens that were just in the box. They were just like, oh, I don't know. They were just like learning and playing around and stuff and just doing whatever. And just trying to get like regular chicken food for that example and that reason. And yeah, that's just pretty much that. Now, again, how am I explaining this a little bit? Well, this is just a little bit of an explaining version here, other than just like, oh, me just talking about saying is why don't even ask exactly. It's just because when I say don't ask exactly, it means, yeah, I probably would say don't ask, which means just don't ask. You know, just like what any simple person would just say about that question is that just like, just say something or maybe just skip or do whatever. Because I mean, for me, I just kind of write sometimes and just say is like, oh, I'm just going to say that. I'm just going to say here, who, and where, and blah, blah, blah. You know, just that. And yeah, so that's just all I want to say. That's just all I want to come on by and just say is about the explaining thing, the explained version about that, about just the chickens. Because I mean, hey, I mean, there could probably be explained or maybe just a story, which sometimes I could talk about a story and then there might be a time I might talk about the explaining. But anyway, all that aside, exactly that, yeah, the baby chickens were pretty okay. And here's a fact. If anybody doesn't know this fact that I'm gonna actually just say right now, here's this fact. This fact, by the way, that I actually just want to let you guys know, is that I prefer chickens being in stores. Now, why do I prefer that? The reason why I prefer that, by the way, is because I just do like seeing baby chickens when I'm in a store. You know, just to take a look at them, just only look at them exactly, but not get any of them. Because, I mean, at this point, they're just gonna like cause messes a little bit and just cause messes inside the house, which I mean, trust me, it's pretty stupid if that was ever the case, which it is stupid. And sometimes, am I gonna always be proud of something? Maybe. And then the other one I would say is no. So, yeah. By any chances and by any cases that I'll say this, frankly, and just for a little bit of a short term guess, is that yeah, the chickens by any chance already, they were just probably going to be sent anyway today, which they probably were. And also, by any chance that, yeah, it was last night on the 23rd, the last night of 23rd, before I did got back from a restaurant called Dad's Place or whatever. Basically, I don't know what the hell the name was supposed to be, but I mean, yeah, I don't know why, but at least the restaurant was kind of okay, at least, was just kind of okay, frankly, at first, which was kind of okay. Which I don't blame. I mean, their food was just okay, and their cheap and their hamburgers are just okay to me, since I think it's just pretty okay. And for that moment on, all I just did was play some games on my phone, like always. Like pretty much like every game I've always loved remembering while doing it on my own iPad. But now I can do it on my own phone, which is pretty cool. And very cool. I mean, it's double the twice, pretty interesting and fun. For the same double fun, but double time. Just for the old saying goes. Or just a new way of saying the new saying goes. But anyway, that's just all I want to probably explain from here and there and just go on at it and just kind of might think and have my taste a little bit of the talk about the chickens, which, here's a fact, by the way, is that I do like chickens, trust me, but I'm just going to say that I only prefer liking chickens when they're in stores, not the backwards way. Because why did I say the backwards way? Okay, so here's a little bit of the explaining about that too, about the backwards way. I mean, people should really be constantly focused and constantly take it a little bit lightly and a little bit understanding with that idea is that here's a fact. Only make a chicken house or a chicken coop that chickens don't cause out to come on out there and just try to starting messes or a little bit outside and then from inside out or maybe outside from inside, which I know that second part I said didn't make a rhyme, but it's still the same thing as far as to be a little bit late as that part. So whatever. Now, again, here's the thing. Just only get a chicken house or a chicken coop first. Not get the chickens first. Like, that's all backwards. That's all backwards, man. That's like all backwards. Like, nobody would not be doing that. Which I don't blame, to be honest. I'm just always a little natural at things where I'm just going to be the one being like, oh, just kind of taking things lightly and just take things slow without constantly just going like, ooh, I have to be the one rising a little bit of the wryness a little bit. Well, sometimes you just might hear a little bit from me by taking things lightly and then non-lightly things. So that's my point. That's my fact, is I prefer liking chickens in store and pretty much watch them while they actually start running or start walking or whatever they're doing or sleeping or eating food. I prefer kind of watching that way better. But inside a house, I'm kind of a little okay with it, but when it's just that problem, I just really sometimes always have a problem a little bit and just start briefly saying is that, first on, I'll say this as first on for a little bit and just say is that, one, I prefer chickens being in the box, which they were in the box, but at least luckily I was going to wait, I was just going to kind of figure out and just know if the chickens were going to get out of the box or whatever, but unfortunately they stayed in the box, which just stayed actually pretty good, which I mean, there were like two holes, a little bit like two square holes exactly. You know, it wasn't like this small, it was medium wide. It was like a bit medium wide. Like, they didn't get out of the box or anything. Like, they just didn't magically walk away or anything, like shoes or anything. Like, they didn't even walk the way. Exactly. They just stayed in the box regularly. And then also, before I came back downstairs and just checked the chickens again, before I even constantly got out of the shower and just took a look to see if the chickens were doing anything that just didn't prevent them to get out of the box. Well, I did take a look at it for a little bit, pretty much some investigation. Just a little bit of like me taking a look and see what's going on. And so far, they actually just were staying in the box the whole time. Which I probably did notice, which I mean, I didn't want to open the box because I know that they're going to just make some chirp noises again because I know they're just going to startle and just do that again. So that way I just went pretty slow, turn on the light, which I already do have an app for my phone for that, which I do have a flashlight, which trust me, I do. Like, I really do. Like, whenever I turn on that flashlight on, I really just do turn it on and just see what's going on. Like, it could literally be for anything that I could use flashlights for. Basically for my phone anyway. But, you know, just for a little fact, for a little, it's just that it's true, by any chance. And then afterwards, that yes, the chickens did got dropped off, and they actually were dropped off exactly for no reason, so yeah. Just remember, this is just an explanatory reason. Just only about an explanation version of this talk, a little bit. Which, you know, there's two versions to kind of go on with it. It's just, you know, just do this, which means zip my mouth and just let the chickens do their thing while just me silently just doing so. And then the second part, I just go on with the explaining or story time, that I could probably say it. In either of those two ways, I'm probably a bit natural at best for me explaining some parts, but whatever it just is, it's just what it is. So, hopefully you guys do kind of enjoy this talk that I actually just want to like come on by and just make the talk as I go and just fully explain it. And yes, I did went to see the Minecraft movie twice. The second time again. Which it just never gets old. It really again never gets old. Like I've got to say it really isn't that old, but even if it's off topic, when whatever. I mean, what the hell? I mean, basically just what the hell though? Just what the hell? So, anyway, that's just what I want to be briefly talking about right now, and hopefully you guys again enjoy this video. And this is Golden Devin-Foxy Remastered. Thank you guys again for watching and fully watching this, and just pretty much. So, that being said, I'll definitely see you guys again in the next time, and then in the next video. And like always, is remember, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified. And also, one interesting question before we do get off exactly is about this question first. Is like, there's only one question I want to make. Is that, hey, Golden Devin-Foxy Remastered, have you actually, like, make videos while doing outside while using my Samsung? The answer is no. Because, I mean, for me, I just probably want to be careful out there sometimes, you know. There might be some danger zones for a little bit by saying it's like, ooh, just like revealing your kind of like place where you're going. Like, I can't like say anything else certain but anything else, because I mean, hey, that's stalking and that's pretty dangerous. So I probably keep things toned down off and just keep things just slightly as it could be without any disturbances or anything that probably would be negatively, or any negatives or whatever by any chance, to avoid those and pretty much more. So, with that being said, I'll see you in the next time, and then in the next video. And this is Golden Devin-Foxy Remastered. And don't forget, by the way, that I was going to think of something before I was going to kind of get off for this for a minute, and just say is that, yeah, in the future, I'll definitely be making vlog videos for now, and just do those outside if I ever try to, like, avoid the number that's probably, like, let's just say the number would be 15 minutes or more, which I have to avoid 15 minutes, because if it avoids it 15 minutes, it means that YouTube wouldn't allow me to, like, make videos on my vlog channel for 15 minutes, which I gotta be aware of that, so that way I just have to keep things certain. That's all I have to do, and that's just pretty much it. And, yeah, so, like I said, this will be a new adventure for me, just a little bit new, and just get to experience a little bit with the Samsung, which I still, again, briefly said, like, I don't know for how many days or how many goddamn times before I said, but whatever. That's just me talking. That's just me talking the talk. So, that being said, see you guys in the next video, and then as much that I probably would say this too, by the way, that, oh yes, we're definitely going to still do the announcement, which I probably will do the announcement, and then it'll probably be me explain a few things before jumping into those, and just briefly talk on some of them and just fully explain those as we go. And then, as in for another news, I actually wanted to give you guys a full news, by the way, that I'm actually doing the lyrics of Friday Night Funkin' by any chance. My own lyrics, you know, my very own lyrics. You know, just in the weeks. Only story mode, no mods. Remember, I said story mode, no mods, just the regular game. So, you might be wondering, and you might be asking, is that, how am I going to probably explain that? Well, in that topic, it'll probably be saved up for another video for the announcement once I do explain that too, exactly, because trust me, I got a lot of topics to kind of like show and just talk until then I probably would end it anyways and just finish. So, the weeks I did that, oh yeah, trust me, the weeks I did for pretty much most of those in Friday Night Funkin', the lyrics I just did, was week 1 all the way to the weekend 1 thing. Which also the Pico updates, I probably haven't got that as a go, but I might work on that certainly and just work on that as I can. And oh yes, by any chance again, that yes, frankly, honestly, yes, I did got the Friday Night Funkin' lyrics for myself, exactly, my own lyrics that I just did. And also I did work on those, by the way, while actually working on the projects of those. I actually worked. You know, I just try to find roasts. I try to find lyric roasts on Boyfriend, or a few more exactly I could find, and just say whatever. And also, one interesting thing, I'll say this before we do, is, by the way, I want to say this, that if you guys actually do notice that there'll be a loop in a few different seconds, then yes. Just don't worry about the loops. They're just going to probably like cut some of them off exactly before heading to the next rhyme exactly that happens or whatsoever the music continues. So that's just what I want to talk about and just say that if you guys are excited for my lyrics, pretty much while doing my own voice of Daddy Dearest, Pico, Senpai, and then finally Tank Man, and then also a bit of Darnell. Which I never tried doing Darnell, but at least I'll give it a go for a little bit of Darnell. But his voice is going to be a bit different, which I probably would say that, oh yeah, I do love some characters who are pretty bit based. Just a bit based. But, like I said again, I've only picked top 5 characters only. 5 characters. Only 5. Which, like I said, Molly Mears won't count, by the way, because at this point, I probably can't do a voice of Molly Mears because, for me, it's kind of going to be a little hard. I might probably prefer having a voice actress by doing the character of the lyrics, but it probably will be a little bit of some kind of time, effort, and a little bit more strongly a little weight exactly, and just see, like, we may never know because it's a more like an I don't know question or whatsoever it is. But yeah, I continue being honest, and just, like always, to be honest. Now, thank you guys again for watching this video, and I'll say this again, I'm Golden Devin-Foxy with Mastered, and even heck, I probably say this is a very interesting video indeed, so, with that being said, I'll see you guys again in the next video, and like always, remember, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified. That way, you will not miss a single video that comes on this channel. Anyway, with that being said, I'll see you guys again next time. And as in for that, I'm definitely going to have pizza tonight, since I definitely am going to have pizza, which, for me, I'm just going to probably enjoy watching some DVDs, like Sonic or anything or whatever, which I'm going to probably prefer watching some DVDs, which, I just want to, like, clear some things out of the way for my DVD collections, and just continue on the next. That way, it'll just, like, just save up the time, and just save what I gotta save. So, that's just pretty much the point of them. Now, that being said, I'll see you later, in the next time, and then in the next video. And oh, by the way, just so you guys do or don't know, by any chance again, is that I probably am going to save up another video. Like, it's pretty much the same situation with me and YouTube going on right now, since I've probably been waiting for YouTube just to, like, get my third channel unbanned for some reason, but unfortunately, I'm not going to be the one, like, doing things too hard recently, because I know it's just going to kind of actually go a lot pretty stupid, which I know it is. But like I said, I'm just going to have to find a different solution and just continue and just try and see if I could find some different ways and just different talks, what I can do, and just see what I can figure out to do. Because, trust me, it's been, like, almost literally 3 years just to keep waiting. Like, trust me, it's pretty stupid. Like, it's really consistently stupid. Like, even though I have another channel, by the way, just to have a replacement. It's pretty much going to be a reboot. Which, like I said, I probably am keeping that as a reboot, as a save. I'm not just going to be, like, saying this, ooh, I might have to reveal it now or reveal it anything. Which, no, possibly, I would not reveal it yet. Which, I probably will not, actually. I just will not reveal it. Because the reason why I don't want to reveal it just yet is because I'm just keeping it slow and lightly. That way I'll continue with more videos as they go, and just continue on my schedule and just get everything else out of the way. That way I could probably just go on out and just make my last final message before I could probably briefly just get things originally just for my new reboot for the Angry Birds, which it's probably the same thing, but it's more going to be like a reboot. So yeah, pretty much, because due to the lack of the impersonation, which, trust me, it's stupid. I really do agree, it's just stupid. So, I know I'm off topic again. I probably again say I know I'm off topic, so yeah, I know. I get it. I get it from almost like 100 things. I understand that. Totally, again, fully understand that. So, that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video, and I should probably get going right now since I have to be the one getting going. And also, one question, by the way. am I still going to continue doing the same voices as I've already previously did for my third channel? Which, pretty much, yes, it'll be the same thing. Yes, unfortunately, yes. And then there probably will be a disclaimer that I actually will be the one talking about the disclaimer, and also will briefly fully make a disclaimer and just talk about everything else for what's really going on, and just kind of like do 2 videos about the explanation that I probably won't be the one going up the high bridges or anything. I'm just going to like keep them at low and middle without throwing it too much tantrums up there, since I know, again, it's pretty dumb. I understand that. It's pretty dumb. But y'all just have to trust me for now. Just a little bit of trust for a bit before I can actually just go on and just talk about what's really going on, and just fully understand that, it's going to be a little difficult by actually just like redoing everything else that I've been working on for many years. Like, trust me. Like, if anybody doesn't know for how long, many years I've done for my third channel, and also, am I proud of my third channel for what I did for my success? Yes, I have. Yes. I very much, again, fully said the word yes. That I actually am proud of the third channel's amazing history, and also the amazing, well done things I'd ever done for it, and just did my very greatest work for so many years that I continued on just to keep moving things more forward. Like, just to keep continuing them. But, I just want people to do understand, by any chance, is that it's not cool to just like say that, oh, I'm impersonating. Well, the answer is, to me, I'm just saying is like, bro, it's just literally me voicing the damn character. Like, I don't get what's so understanding about, or a little bit hard to not understand about. Like, it's just my voice to the character. It's not like, ooh, I'll be the one just saying it's like, blah, 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 I'm just impersonating that, and blah, 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 and impersonating who, and blah, 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 blah. Seriously, it's just so dumb. Really, it's just so dumb that I expected, like, literally, like, so stupidly from, like, literally first graders. Like, it's just so stupid, man. Like, that's all I ever think about that is just literally stupid. Like, I'm not doing the insult, I'm just thinking it kind of sounds like pretty stupidly. There he is. But just so you guys do understand and get the full text and understanding, is that I will explain 2 videos, and that's probably going to be it. And I probably will have to like redo the MET videos again, and just do, oh, I'm just going to have to voice the character again, like the same voice I've already been doing, like I've literally been doing for many years. Like, trust me, it's no joke. I literally made videos for my third channel for absolutely many years. I've made it for a long time, for before 3 years. That actually really much caused the incident to be dead. But, I just don't want to be the one talking about fully, likely, and directly, so that's just pretty much my statement. So, you guys will get the video, 2 videos of the explanation, and then for much more. So, like I said, thank you guys very much for cooperating and fully much understanding that this is just a full talk of an explanation for what's going to happen. Either A, I'm pretty much going to be likely just to continue making the videos again for the same thing, but also a little bit of a reboot. Differently. Much of a reboot, but differently. Now, am I going to say I'm going to be rebooting the episodes again? Well, it's only if people actually memorized about the episodes that was actually lost. What my third channel had previously had. I'm just saying that part. If anybody could tell me about the episode names I did for my third channel, I'd be gladly to be appreciated, and very much want to be talking to some people, a bit of my fans from my third channel that, that just went poofed away for 3 damn freaking years exactly, which is stupid, which I believe it is. So, if anybody has been a long time third channel of my fan, exactly my Angry Birds channel, which I'm actually renaming it just to be called Devin-Foxy's Angry Birds channel, which I know it's kind of a dumb name because due to the lack of impersonation, I know it is, which I just have to like change things differently, just a little differently. Now, am I saying it's the best name I could say? Yes, a little bit, just a little bit of the 80% or 70%, but am I saying it's sometimes a bit of a good name a little? Yes, and then maybe no. Like, there's 2 yeses and then 1 no. yeah, so that's just all I want to be coming out here and just explain that for that minute and just say it directly. So, that being said, hope you guys do understand fully and just, just keep being patient and just keep watching my content and keep watching and watching for new people to enjoy, like real Devin-Foxy fans, really all the real fans. No fakes are allowed. No fakes allowed. So, with that being said, just wanted to kind of get that over with and just kind of want to explain that for the next second or so, which I probably am going to be making a release date of me explaining about on the new third channel's reboot. That I actually am still naming it to call it the third channel reboot. Or should I say in this case, Devin-Foxy's Angry Birds channel reboot. So, there you go. There you have it. And I hope that you guys are actually happy and wondering and very positively for a new change for differently. I mean, now, I want you guys' help just to tell me about, like, if anybody has, like, think a bit exactly while my third channel still existed, I want you guys to know about the episode names, basically and candidly, basically, about the name. That, so that way I probably would get a full understanding about, like, oh, I'm supposed to get some episodes to return back. Which that's what I would do, for example. And also, by any chance, if, here's a little bit you in between me exactly and my fans, just my real fans only. So, here's what I'm going to say. That, okay, first off, even if I'll do this for my one time, I'll only do this for the chance. I'll actually will make that chance video if I actually will do that, by the way. Like, I'm only just going to give myself only the time and actually reflect the time that I actually will try to say I might actually activate it for the hour or whatever I'll do just for that time. So, again, I do have a thumbnail that I actually will explain through the last chance thing that I actually will explain about. Now, is it really going to be fully explained about from, like, the whatever exactly? The answer is no. I'm just going to kind of, like, get through a few gameplays, few reactions, and then that's when I might give the time and just go, like, from a snap like this. Like that. Just like that one snap, and then I'll just do it. Just fully do it, without going overboard at the top, Just pretty much staying directly at the middle and full likely condescendingly understanding and through its understandings. And yes, I'm intelligent a little bit. I'm just a bit intelligent, but sometimes I'll just go for the fact and just gotta say what I gotta say, even if it is the best or isn't much likely, but I'll still go on ahead and try at least the very hardest I can do. So, without that being said, thank you guys for the time and the time being to fully appreciate it. So, anyway, it's time I just get going and just get some pizza and just enjoy what I gotta watch on my TV right now, since I probably am going to be the one watching some Sonic Underground, and then, of course, switch on with other DVDs. So, thank you guys for your time. Thank you guys very much again for your patience. And thank you guys throughout many of the years that I continue as myself as a YouTuber that does very great voice impressions and does way a lot more. Sonic, I've been doing that for so long that I've actually did so better. A little bit better. But like I said, when things are just a little bit less better, it's just that I'm just trying to, like, get things a little bit something like that. Just not to get a little bit less of that. So, like I said, I've been doing my second channel for years, a lot, and just did very great stuff with it. And then, as for like my fourth channel, just want to let you guys also know I've actually did so well by doing voicing characters from the very first timeline of Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria 1, 2, and then 3. Well, let's just say 3 is already a mystery, which I already do voice Springtrap and voice a few characters that I've only voiced my own versions of those characters. And then as in for the Mario ones, oh yeah, I've been doing those by the chance that I love doing it for so long. I've did many seasons and many episodes and parodies as I keep doing great things with it. Now, as in about my P vs. Z, let's just say that my P vs. Z is just kind of been on the hold. Just with other delays or hold a few different things, I'm trying to at least prepare just to see if I can try to make episodes or whatever. But all I'm going to say that yes, it remains to still be the best as I can do and the best well done things I could ever do for my other channel, for my P vs Z stuff, which remains to be very well magnificent, and just keep on continuing. Just to keep continuing things as I do and just continue a lot of great stuff as I go forward, likely. So that's just probably my kind of the bargain. And then the only bargain I could probably say about the horror stuff, just with like, ooh, scary. Yeah, you like my dark self, for example. Yes, I did voice my dark self for so long, likely, that, I've been doing that pretty well, likely. So, yeah. Hold on, give me a second. There we go. There we go. Sorry, I just had to turn that on exactly in the bathroom. So, what I was saying back there with like the horror stuff that I've been doing on my other channel is my dark self's channel, like Dark Devin, for example. Yeah, I've been doing my dark self's voice I've been doing my dark self's voice for a long time. But the voice, like I said, I've always do are pretty magnificent. Like for example, I voiced Sonic.exe, pretty much like a few of the horror killers, and then Twisted Ones, or whatever I could name off my head exactly. And yeah, pretty much more. And then as in for the gaming, I actually been doing so dang well with the gaming stuff that I keep on keep on the thrill, keep going and going for the thrill of all of that, and just like bring out some new people, bring out some new introducements, even if it's animatronics or non-animatronics at all, which I probably will insist to keep doing so in the future with the gaming, and all the great things to continue forward. Now, with my backup's doing pretty okay with the success I've been doing as well. I've kept doing the same thing, like, like always, like reactions and other stuff and blah, 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 blah. Like, I continue doing that, and it's actually pretty dang good. Like, for example, I actually am trying to finish a bit of the project of its work right now, that I'm trying to figure on the work that should be doing pretty the best with the so-called pretty much the battle between the blue team and red team's fight against pretty much Sexton Hale, which just remember that there's two endings I'm actually willing to add, and actually add them pretty differently. So that's just pretty much my other take of it. Now, for my Duncan Gaming channel, I actually will say this, by the way, that I've actually been doing Total Drama in Team Fortress 2 for lots of good things, even hell, most likely for almost of the good years I've been putting through those. Very dang good. Like 15.ai, UberDuck, Fake You. Like, I've been doing most of that for how great things I've been doing. And hey, even hell, I actually been doing pretty much like good series like Total Drama, pretty much like with Total Drama, simulator, like this island simulator, the action simulator, and now even World Tour simulator. Like, get that. I'm actually just adding like different winners, very different winners. My way, just my way only, That's pretty much what I would want to say. Only my way. When I say my way, it means I actually will consistently just have like, I don't know, same winners, different winners. Like, the first part I'm just going to not say, which I probably am like doing so otherwise. That's probably what I would say. Now, for the vlog channel, I actually will say this, by the way, by any chance too, is about the vlog channel. Bro, the vlog channel is pretty okay. But so far, I probably need to, like, come up with a few other different ideas and a few videos I can do with the vlog channel and stuff, which I'm not very certainly if I could try to do some. But, I did hear that there's going to be a few good things about, like, NBA, hockey, and then pretty much a little bit of NFL, which I'm not going to tune in NFL, which, I mean, at this point, it's just going to kind of be the same damn thing again, like always. Like, even if it's not, I probably will say a little bit at the center part, is that if a new team doesn't win, that's exactly why I probably would stop watching and not even give a, what? I probably would rather consider watching just like, the Oklahoma Thunder and then the New Jersey Devils winning the entire way of hockey and basketball, because I prefer both of those teams way better to win. Unfortunately, I probably would consider to count that. So, anyway, there's going to be a lot of things I'm going to have to do and continue a lot more, which I probably will still stay on the clock and will hopefully keep things occupied, and for right now, just to keep them going and flow as they go for other great things, which even though I'm probably making a speech and just talking through most of how I'm going to do all that and just see what I can do and fully understand how it's going to probably be doing it and see where all that's going to lead. So, that's pretty much my story, and that's pretty much it for everybody. And oh, as in for that fact that yes, the chickens were dropped off exactly, that yes, 100% fully crystal clear, which I'll say it's just a crystal only, just crystal clear. You know, that the chickens were dropped off, and were dropped off somewhere that it's pretty much unknown for a reason, because don't want to make things too revealing. That's just what I'd want to kind of like keep things a little safety for some people, just for a little some safety. So that's just pretty much that. So, that being said, see you guys in the next video. And oh, speaking about that, it's time for me to get some pizza, and it's time for me to go ahead and just watch TV and just watch some DVDs and just watch some Sonic Underground. That way I'll just continue on watching more. And plus, the DVDs I always like are pretty awesome. You know, they're pretty good. Like, very good. So, with that being said, I'm going to get going. Peace out, sign out, and I don't want to waste kind of too long for many hours or minutes. That depends on longer video, but, you know, I didn't expect I was going to talk from like most of it from the minute, but whatever. I mean, the old saying goes is that if the bargain just finishes it, then I can't let it finish itself, you know. Just can't let it finish. But, you know, just may finish it, unfortunately. So, might as well keep on the hold for some reason and just keep where this goes. And for now, but anyway, story finished, communication finished, and just a little bit done. So, yeah, I probably would say this is by saying is connection terminated and finished and finito. You know, I probably would say it if it was like FNAF 6 or anything like that. But oh, trust me, I did that voice too, by the way, while doing my own version by saying it's like, you know, instead of Henry, it would be my voice by doing FNAF 6, by saying it's like, pretty much about like, oh, it's about like Elizabeth and other stuff, like blah, 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 and other stuff about like the original story ending or for whatever that was finished. But, you know, I just wanted to make it things a little interesting and a little dark for a little bit and just see what you guys thought of how I actually did the impression by doing, you know, just doing Henry's voice by saying is like, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Elizabeth, if you still remember that name, which that's probably what I did, but that's just what I try to do anyway and do the best of it. So, yeah. Anyway, see you guys in the next video. Peace out. See you later. Goodbye. And remember, the 4 things you guys gotta do and fully remember is like and comment and subscribe and the bell to be notified. Thank you. Anyways, I am Golden Devin-Foxy Remastered, and I will see you in the next time. And then, in the next video. Bye-bye, everybody. Have a great night. Having a very much likely a very amazing night. Very great night. So anyway, see you in the next video. Bye-bye, everybody. See you next time. Signing on out. Bye-bye, everybody. See you next time.